The first thing I noticed about her wasn't her alien physiology. It was the silence. Not the absence of sound. No. The research vessel kept hummed with the steady rhythm of reactors, coolant streams, and distant mechanical chatter. But the silence that followed her. Crew members stopped speaking when she passed. Their movements stiffened. Conversations died mid-sentence, like oxygen had been siphoned out of the room. They called her Illyra. Designation: cognitive irregularity. Status: contained. Recommendation: minimal interaction. That last line was the one I ignored. Because humans, historically, don't do well with minimal interaction when something is labeled dangerous without explanation. I met her on my third day aboard. The observation chamber was dim. The walls curved and seamless, glowing faintly with soft bioluminescent panels. She stood at the center, not restrained, not confined, just isolated. At first glance, she looked almost human. 2 arms, 2 legs, upright posture. But the similarities ended quickly. Her skin shimmered with a subtle iridescence, like light bending through oil on water. Her eyes were larger, deeper, reflecting not just light, but something layered. As if there were multiple perceptions happening at once behind them. She turned before I spoke.
"You are the new one," she said.
Her voice wasn't transmitted through speakers. It resonated directly, clear, precise, almost too close. "Ethan Cole," I replied, stepping forward. "Human liaison." She tilted her head slightly, studying me. Not visually, no, it felt like something deeper, like she was reading the structure of my thoughts rather than my appearance. "You are allowed," she said. I blinked. "Loud. Your mind," she clarified. "It moves quickly."
"Chaotically."
I smiled faintly. "Yeah, we get that a lot." She stepped closer. Every instinct I had screamed that I should feel something, fear, tension, at least discomfort. But I didn't. Instead, I felt curiosity. "Why are you here?" she asked. "To understand you." Her gaze sharpened. "They have tried," she said. They stopped. "I'm not them." A pause. Then, quietly, "No, you are not." The crew warned me. Don't engage too long. Don't let her focus on you. If she initiates contact, leave immediately. I listened, and then ignored all of it, because nothing about Illyra matched their fear. Yes, she was different. Yes, there was something unusual about her presence, a pressure almost like standing near a powerful magnetic field. But it wasn't hostile. If anything, it felt searching. Over the next few days, I returned to the chamber again and again. We talked. At first, it was simple. Language exchanges.
Cultural data.
Biological comparisons. She learned fast, too fast. Concepts that should have taken weeks, she absorbed in minutes. Human humor confused her, but she tried. Emotions fascinated her. "You experience internal states that conflict with logic," she observed once. "Constantly," I said. "Why?" I shrugged. "Because we're human." She considered that for a long time. The first time something changed, I didn't realize it immediately. It was subtle.
A shift.
She stood closer than usual. Not uncomfortably so, but closer. "Ethan," she said, her voice softer than before. "When you speak, there is variation." Variation. Your tone changes. Your breathing. Your neural activity increases. I chuckled. "That's called being engaged in conversation." "No," she said slowly. "It is different with me." That made me pause. "How so?" She hesitated. And that, more than anything, unsettled me. Illyra didn't hesitate. Not normally. "It is amplified," she said finally. "When you are near me." I exhaled slowly. "That's probably normal. New environment, new species." It is not normal. Her eyes locked onto mine. I have observed others. They do not respond this way. A silence stretched between us. Then she stepped even closer. Close enough that I could see the faint, shifting patterns beneath her skin, like currents of light flowing just beneath the surface. "May I ask something?" she said. "Sure." She leaned in slightly. "Do you feel it?" The question hit me harder than expected.
Because yes, I did.
I just hadn't put it into words. There was something in the air when she was near. A subtle tension, like the moment before a storm breaks. My thoughts felt sharper, faster, but also tangled. "Yeah," I admitted. "I feel something." Her expression, if you could call it that, shifted. Not quite a smile, but close. After that, things changed. Not dramatically, but enough. She began asking different questions. Not about humanity as a whole, but about me. What do you feel when you are alone? What do you value most? What is connection? That last one lingered. Connection? I repeated.
Yes, she said.
You reference it often. It appears important. I leaned against the curved wall, thinking. It's hard to define, I said. It's when you feel understood, when someone matters to you, when their presence changes how you experience things.
She processed that.
And you experience this with others? Yeah. With me? The question caught me off guard. I hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, I think I do. She stepped closer again. That was becoming a pattern. And I experience, she paused, searching for the right term, anomalies when you are present. Anomalies? My internal systems do not behave as expected. My processing becomes inefficient. I smiled slightly. That's called distraction. She tilted her head. Distraction, she repeated. Then quieter. It is not unpleasant. The incident happened on the 8th day. I remember the exact moment, because everything changed after that. The chamber lights dimmed unexpectedly, routine power fluctuation, nothing serious. But the shift in illumination made the room feel smaller, more enclosed. Illyra stood very still. Something is different, she said. What do you mean? She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked at me in a way she hadn't before. Focused. Intent. Ethan, she said softly, my internal readings are irregular. Like before? No, she said. Stronger. I stepped forward, concern rising. Are you okay? She didn't respond. Not verbally, but I felt something. A pressure. No, not pressure. A presence. Like her awareness was brushing against mine. Not invasive. Just close. I do not understand this, she whispered. Her voice was different now. Quieter. Almost uncertain. What are you feeling? I asked. She took a step closer. Then another. Until she was right in front of me. I feel, she paused, searching. Strange. The word hung in the air. Strange how? Her gaze dropped briefly, to my hand, then back to my eyes. And then she said it. Softly. Carefully. I believed it is related to you. My pulse quickened. That's not necessarily a bad thing, I said gently. I do not think it is bad, she replied, but it is overwhelming. For the first time since I'd met her, Illyra looked uncertain, vulnerable. I do not know how to process it, she said. And then she hesitated, just for a moment, before asking, may I try something? I swallowed. Okay. Her voice dropped to almost a whisper. May I touch you? The room felt very still, very quiet. Every warning the crew had given me echoed in my head. If she initiates contact, leave immediately. I didn't move, didn't step back. Instead, I nodded. Yeah, I said. You can. She moved slowly,
Carefully.
as if approaching something fragile. Her hand, if you could call it that, was similar to a human's, but more refined. Longer fingers, smoother contours, faint light pulsing beneath the surface. When she finally made contact, it was barely there. Just the lightest brush against my wrist. And everything shifted. Not physically, not visibly, but internally. It was like a spark, subtle, but undeniable. My thoughts sharpened, my awareness heightened. The background noise of the ship faded, replaced by something clearer. Illyra inhaled sharply. This is, she stopped. Her grip tightened slightly. This is new. I exhaled slowly, trying to stay grounded. What does it feel like? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Her eyes were locked onto mine, wide, reflecting something I'd never seen in her before. Emotion. I feel, she whispered. Connected. The words sent a shiver down my spine. Yeah, I said quietly. That's connection. She didn't let go. If anything, she moved closer. Her other hand hovered near my arm, hesitant. May I continue? She asked. There was no fear in her voice, only curiosity. And something else. Something warmer. I nodded again.
Yeah.
Her second hand rested lightly against my arm. The effect doubled. No, more than doubled. It was like two systems syncing, overlapping just enough to create something new between them. Illyra's breathing, if it could be called that, became uneven. My systems are stabilizing, she said, almost in awe. The irregularities are aligning. I smiled faintly. That's a good thing, right? Yes, she said. It is better. She tilted her head slightly, studying me. And you? She asked. What do you feel? I considered that. Tried to put it into words. It feels like clarity, I said. Like everything's a little sharper, but also calmer.
She processed that.
Then, very softly, I would like to understand this further. The crew found out, of course. They always do. I was pulled into a debriefing the next morning. Physical contact. Commander Reth demanded. Yes. And you're unharmed? I'm fine. He stared at me like I'd just admitted to walking into a reactor core. You don't understand what she is, he said. Then explain it to me, I replied. He hesitated, then sighed. She's not just an individual, he said. She's a node, a living interface. Her species communicates through direct cognitive linking. Touch amplifies it. I leaned back slightly. That doesn't sound dangerous. It is when it's uncontrolled, he snapped. Prolonged exposure can lead to dependency, cognitive blending, loss of identity. That gave me pause. Has that happened before? We don't know. I exhaled slowly. And she doesn't know how to control it? No, I nodded. Then maybe that's what we help her do. I went back to her that evening. She was waiting. I was told you would not return, she said. I smiled. They don't know me very well.
She studied me.
Then stepped closer. You are unchanged, she observed. Should I be? I do not know, she admitted. A pause. Then, quietly. I've been thinking about yesterday. Me too. She hesitated, then asked, May we try again? I didn't answer right away. Not because I was afraid, but because I understood now. This wasn't just curiosity anymore. This was something deeper. Something that could change both of us. I stepped forward, closed the distance, and gently took her hand. You don't have to ask, I said. Her eyes widened slightly, then softened. And as our connection formed again, stronger this time, more stable, I realized something the others hadn't. This wasn't about danger. It wasn't about loss of identity. It was about something humanity had always done best: adapting, understanding, connecting. And as Illyra's voice echoed softly in my mind, not invasive, not overwhelming, just present, I knew this was only the beginning. Because she wasn't broken. She was evolving. And somehow,
So was I.